that man over there is just negging you in the corner. That man over there despises you. He hates your guts. Wake up. Hello, my darlings. Welcome to AM to PM, your favorite unfiltered survival guide with your girl, Anna Marie. And today we are talking about the love that I pray never touches us. The love that I pray never reaches our doorstep or even has the audacity to come near us. We don't deserve the shambolicism that I'm seeing on the internet. In 1 week, 2 week span alone, I have been seeing pastors talking about cheating on their wives talking about ironing clothes for their husband for him to go and cheat, our Disney princess filing restraining order, my childhood love doing some bullshit on Instagram. What is going on? Lord have mercy. Please deliver us all from the forsakenness that is happening right now.
Hello there, Anna Marie from the future here. Quick disclaimer, this episode was filmed before the Swag album dropped, before the Yukon video dropped. So before you come for my neck, I already know what you're about to say. However, the message still stands. So let's focus on what's important, shall we? Let's get back to the episode.
I feel like it's a rite of passage. I feel like any girl, woman, before they turn 25, mid to late 20s, I feel like you need to date a Dusty at some point. But what you need to do is not marry the Dusty. Okay? Not have a child with the Dusty. You need to go through the situation, because I believe that everything in life is a learning opportunity. Go through it. Have the little trash man on the side and let him break your heart so you can build your self-esteem up again. That sounds harsh, but it's the reality of the thing. You need to go through it to know what not to do again next time. Go through that. Date the little whatless boy when you're in your early 20s. Don't marry him, don't have kids with him. Learn from it, move on, so when you're in your 30s, you can find a more qualified partner. And I'm tired of seeing these girls break their back and break their wombs for these dudes who do not give a damn. Let's start with the hot topic. Justin Bieber negging disguised as nostalgia. And this is something everyone needs to be very careful of. Someone giving you a backhanded compliment, someone not congratulating you on your achievement, but making this whole thing about them, or giving you this whole speech about, well, you did all of this shit, but not actually saying, wow, I'm proud of you, I love you, and congrats on your achievement. Okay? Maybe the last 3 months, the law online about Hailey Bieber was that she was stalking Justin. She fought to be Mrs. Bieber. From the teenage years, she was there. She was in the background of all the pictures. She was at all the hotels. She was stalking Selena, trying to be Selena. And apparently, allegedly, Justin was still texting Selena like the day before his wedding day. And you've got to be careful with that mindset, babe. You've got to be careful with the mindset of trying to win a man. Because when a man knows, that you are invested in him and you want him, that man will drag you through the streets. Men are not like us women, because like we enjoy the chase and we're the ones who are supposed to be chased. So we will allow a man to chase us and eventually we'll let him win. We'll let him have us. But a man won't do the same. It's not the same. He's not going to, be so grateful that you put in all this effort and be with him and show him that you're such a good woman and you'll wipe his batty till the end of time. No. I'm going to speak from a place of non-bias here, because Justin, you guys know me. I love me some Justin. Since I was 14, 15. My favorite girl. There's gonna be one less lonely. I still have the CDs. My World Tour, I was there. My World 2.0, I was there. Purpose Tour, I flew internationally to be there. So when we're talking about Justin Bieber, that's my man. That's that's the one that has my heart from childhood. And of course, I've since let that go. I'm a grown ass woman now. let that go. But he will always have a special place within me, you know. He was a big part of my teenage years. So when things like this come out, I'm like, why you gotta be so fucking weird? Why? Because I've been rooting for you.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
I've been rooting for you since day one. Since you were sitting on the steps in Stratford, Ontario, I was there. And this is the kind of bullshit that you're on now as a big man. So it's always disappointing. This whole lore about, you know, Hailey stalking Justin and Justin, you know, being toxic with Selena. It's just like, oh, why? I just kind of want to keep you in your perfect image and let me just admire you as a fan. I don't want to know none of this. I would rather be oblivious to all of this. But for somehow with TikTok, it lands on my lap. So here we are today. The definition of negging is to undermine someone's confidence in hope that this person will either, you know, respect them more, or just put you down and make you feel horrible about yourself, to make themselves feel better. And that can be quite common in heterosexual relationships. It can be quite common in the place of work. It can be common in friendships. You just have to be aware of the signs. And I think this post, this opportunity that Justin had to really praise his wife and put her on a pedestal and be like, my wife is on the cover of Vogue. My wife has a successful beauty brand that all you motherfuckers, all your girlfriends have my girlfriend's lip gloss because my girlfriend is that girl. My wife, the mother of my children, she is that bee. And instead of you using the opportunity to really elevate her and express how proud you are of her, you chose to do therapy. You chose to talk about how you wished on her downfall. And then you changed it to some emojis because you didn't have the balls to keep it up. You know what? If you're going to say something, say it with your chest. I believe it. If you said it, it's out there. You might as well have left it up for us to read. Luckily, someone got a screenshot. Shout out to Scotty B, because then I got it from her. Otherwise, I would have never known. There's some bull. Let me just read you the original caption before he put bubbles and hearts and smiley faces to cover this bullshit. Right. It says, yo.
This reminds me when Hailey and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean. For some reason, I felt so disrespected that I thought I got to get even. I think as we mature, we realize that we're not really helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover because clearly I was sadly mistaken.
Huh?
Now, upon first glance, I was like, oh, he is acknowledging his trashness. He is acknowledging where he went wrong, and, you know, he's asking for forgiveness, and he understands that, you know, she gonna get what she wants. But at the same time, you chose this moment underneath. This is, by the way, underneath a photo of her Vogue cover. You chose this very moment to do therapy with us. You had all the time in the world. We didn't know that you guys had domestics in your relationship until this moment that you brought it to the public eye. And you're saying, wow, I was mistaken. Of all the things you could have said in that moment, underneath your wife's huge achievement, this is something she's always wanted to achieve, you chose to do up therapy. You chose to do up, reconciliation, reformation. What? Unironically, the headline of Hailey Bieber's Vogue cover is "See Me for Me." See me for me. And is he saying that he's finally seen her for her? Is he finally seeing that she can do things without him? What is this? Justin, I'm disappointed. One of my personal flaws is that I can see the good in anybody. I can give people the benefit of the doubt too quickly, too soon. I can understand and empathize why someone would say something or take a particular action and forgive them for doing such. But sometimes things don't need to be forgiven. Sometimes people don't deserve that forgiveness. And when I first read the caption, I was like, oh, you know what? He recognizes where he went wrong, and he's using his opportunity to tell us about how he's changed and, you know, how he knows he went wrong. But upon reflection, that was the worst thing that he could have done. That was the worst opportunity ever. You've had so many other opportunities to talk about how you've treated Hailey and, you know, what you think she deserves, etc., etc. To use this moment where she is in the limelight and she has achieved something that she's wanted forever. She's got the cover of Vogue and you completely chat all over it. That is something that I can never respect. It reveals that he has significantly undermined her. A woman who is as ambitious as Hailey, behind closed doors, we don't know what else he's saying to her. We don't know what else he's doing to her. But now he's put that out there. That makes me question, wow, Justin, maybe you are toxic. Maybe you are a piece of ish. And just by you revealing this information, now I can never see you in the same light again. Because I know you're probably driving that woman insane. And she's never going to leave. She's never going to leave because she's committed to the bit. She's got the surname, she's got the baby, she's got the life. She never gonna leave that man. And he knows he's never gonna leave her. And he's gonna continue dragging her through dirt. Your partner should be your number one supporter. Your partner should be the one rooting for you. Even when you can't see it yourself, you can't see the vision come into life yourself, your partner should be the one to remind you. Your partner should be the one to be boosting you and supporting you and helping you get to the place that you want to get to. Not telling you that actually, I don't think you ever have a Vogue cover. Because who are you? That is not somebody that you want to be with. That's not somebody that loves you. That's not somebody that cares about you. So if you're dating someone and they tell you, oh, I think it's a bit unrealistic that you're doing this. Or are you sure you want to do that? I don't think you're good at that. Or maybe you're not good at this. Or maybe I'm better than you. That is negging. That is someone that you don't want to be in a relationship with. And when you are a powerful woman, it is very easy to attract those who want the light, who want your light because they don't have the light within themselves and they see you as a shortcut to getting the light, but then they hate you for it. They hate you for sharing the light with them when they realize that, you know what, she is powerful without me on her own. Don't let these men trick you. If he cannot see your light before the world sees it, that is not your person. The person that you want to be with will see your light before everybody else does. He will be the one pouring into you so you can shine brighter, so you can get the Vogue covers and the lip gloss brand and everything that you desire. Let's move on to another trash platform, which is the Dear Future Wifey podcast. It's hosted by, I'm not sure if his name is Laterus or Laterus, because you know Americans and their name. I don't be knowing. Whitfield. And initially it started off as a very endearing podcast where this man had a history of doing foolery in his life, and he wanted to create a podcast where couples and, you know, people of the church and in the Black communities to come on and talk about how they found love and how they navigate dating, because he is trying to find a wife. This is a grown man, by the way. And I'll admit there was a point like towards the beginning of this podcast where I binged it, and, you know, I loved it because he was bringing on Black successful couples who were married for long periods of time, and it was beautiful to hear their successful stories, to hear how they overcame certain challenges and how they remained marriage, or, you know, talking to single women and how they navigate being single or dating when you're in a position of power. So I found it very insightful. However, as of late, we have seen some chronically crusty guests come on that show. And Laterus or Laterus, sorry, I don't know your name. I just don't know how he's offering these people a platform to come and talk about their bullshit. So the episode in question is Pastor Reggie and his wife Kelly, who's come on there. I'm even just stressed and drained even thinking about speaking about that episode because it was just so loaded. And I can commend anyone who's going to come on a public forum, a public platform, and talk about their past life and their past traumas. But there was so much delusion, so much disrespect and bullshit in that episode that I don't even know what I watched. This man is now a pastor. He met his wife, Kelly, when they were in school. Were they in college or high school? I'm not sure. But she was riding for him from the beginning. He told her, you know, I'm going to marry you, but I'm going to have other women. And she was okay with that. He was an hour late to their wedding. He constantly cheated throughout their marriage. And she believed that it was her mission from God to support him on this journey. I'm going to let you sit with that for just a moment, just one moment more. She believed that God made her the woman to support him through this bullshit. Ladies, when I say we need to stand up, we need to stand. 2 feet, 10 toes on the ground. Put your best shoe on and stand, rise. Because you're married for, I think it's 42 years they've been married now. And that man has stepped out many, many times. But he talks about how his daddy did it. And he felt good being known as his father's son. Now you're a reformed pastor. And, you know, now she gets all of you. Okay. We need to start leaving at the first sign of disrespect. Again, I can empathize with her because they were young when they got together. So when your frontal lobe is not developed, sometimes you just be doing stupidness. You want a man so bad. You want love. You want to be assured so bad that you're going to willingly put yourself through the mud to get what you want. But you will never get respect. And right now, at this point in my life and forevermore, I would rather be respected than be loved. Absolutely. Because love ain't going to get you nowhere. Someone will say, oh, I love you, but constantly disrespect you, constantly drag you down. But when someone respects you and values you, they are going to consider you. They are going to think twice about their decisions, their actions before they make a move because they respect you and they know there will be consequences for their actions. We need to start leaving at the first sign of disrespect. What do you mean this man was running around town sleeping with other women? What do you mean this man was an hour late to your wedding and you still married him? What do you mean you were ironing his clothes so he could go out of town so he could cheat on you? What is going on? What are we actually watching online? Why do we have these platforms that are doing this nonsense online? Because what kind of inspiration is this supposed to give me? Is this supposed to inspire me to stick through the mud and be treated like a dog? Because I want to be a loyal woman to a man who's not even loyal? I pray this type of love never finds us. In the name of the Lord Most High. Thank you. We rebuke it from us. This is a clear example of self-abandonment. Yes, you want to be loyal, but at what cost? You cannot be loyal to someone who's doesn't want you to be loyal to them and isn't being loyal to you and isn't considering you. Point blank period. So when a man is telling you from the beginning, okay, I want you to be my wife, but I'm going to have some hoes. If that goes against your morals, unless you are polyamorous, and you can have a boyfriend too, or, you know, he's making money and he's going to give you a nice house and car, whatever, and you're going to be satisfied in other ways, sure, do it. If that floats your boat, row the boat. If you just are a average monogamous woman who wants to be loved and wants a happy household, get out of there. And what I hate the most is when people bring God into their bullshit. Sorry, God. When people bring God into their own delusion and stupidity. Because God wants us to be happy. God wants us to, you know, people have been saying recently that God is a girl dad, and I truly believe that because the way God be going through for me, whoa, I know that he is a girl dad for real. God doesn't want you to suffer. That's why he sent Jesus. God doesn't want us to suffer. He's given us free will to make our own decisions. He will nudge you when it's time for you to move and to make certain decisions. But if you don't pay attention to the nudging, then you're on your own, basically. But God doesn't want us to suffer. So don't blame your suffering on God. Okay? Don't blame your stupidity on God. Because being a cheater, being adulterous is not all of God. So don't sit there and say, you know what, God prepared me to be this woman for him, to handle him, because no other woman would have been able to look after him the way that I can. What self-respecting woman would want to look after a man who would rather be in the streets? You have picked up a street rat, and he keeps going back to be a street rat, and you're trying to bring him in the house. Let him be a street rat, respectfully. Now, lastly, this final situation just breaks my heart, breaks me to my core. Even though people on the internet have been saying, girl, I told you so, and we did tell her so, but this is not the time. We need to be supportive of our sisters. We need to be supportive of our young girls, and let's use this as an example to do better. Our princess, Little Mermaid, Halle Bailey, incredible singer, songwriter, actress, new mum, and her little boyfriend. We don't acknowledge him over here. We don't. We'll call him DVD. I don't acknowledge that boy because he's a boy. I don't care how old he is. He's a boy. She has now filed a restraining order against him, and it is sad. DVD and his insecure ass was causing a ruckus on the internet when Little Mermaid was just coming out. He made a diss track. He made a song called Famous, talking about how he gets jealous knowing that she's kissing Prince Eric in a movie. Not even in real life. She is the Little Mermaid, and if you've read the book or if you've seen the original film, you know that they're gonna kiss at some point. He made a whole song about it. He would come, set his little streaming fans on her, talk about all his problems online, to bring his son in front of the camera, disrespect her wishes. Now she's gone to the courts. She's set a restraining order against him for putting his hands on her, being abusive to her, entering her house without permission. And I know I'm speaking very blasé right now, but these things are so serious. So the signs that were there that I thought, you know what, he's not quite right for her from the beginning was, one, they're not equally yoked. And as a woman, if you are a successful woman, you're building something, you need to be with a man who is equally or more yoked than you. It doesn't work the other way around. DVD is a streamer. He makes money from creating clout, chasing clout, doing little stunts on the internet, trying to do his pranks and have an unsuccessful rap career. That's how he makes his money. You are the Disney princess. You're the Little Mermaid. First and foremost, you're black Disney princess. That movie was highly anticipated. You were literally born for the role. She was born to be Ariel, because who else would have been the Little Mermaid? You got Disney money for life. And on top of that, you've got a successful music career with your sister. You've got a successful music career on your own. You are is it Prada or is it Tiffany's? I think it's Tiffany's. They are the voice and the face of Tiffany's and so many other brands. And you're here trying to play house with a streamer. Let's stop giving these boys a chance. Let's stop giving these boys a chance. From time he was acting out publicly during the press run of the film, I knew. And then the fact he was always putting the camera in her face when I knew. And then he got her pregnant. And that's the one thing that you can do. You think, I'm going to have a baby, be a mom. You don't want to be a mom for the wrong man. You don't want to share a child with the wrong man, because that is a lifelong commitment. We have seen this time, and we have seen the star girls like Halle, like Sky Jackson, like Keke Palmer, go for these lower dudes, these lower value dudes. Sorry to, be a Kevin Samuels, but these guys who are not equally as yoked as them, guys who are not on the level playing field as them, risk their lives and have babies with them and, try and have a family and start a life with them. But for what? Because he's cute? These are men who need you for a lifeline. These are men who probably would be earning less if they weren't attached to you. These are men who would happily just sit around all day doing nothing if they weren't attached to you. And man like that is not going to provide you with a stable household, let alone a place for you to give birth to his child and all of that. So some things you need to look out for is love bombing. Is he super excited about you and, over the top about you in the early stage? Pay attention to that. Does he, whenever you speak to him, is he just always available? He hasn't got a job. He doesn't have friends. He doesn't have a life. Get rid of that. Is he secretly jealous of you but masks it as protectiveness or, possessiveness or, I just want to, take care of you? Get rid of that. If he's still in touch with his ex or, goes back to his ex whenever you guys have an argument, get rid of it. DVD did that many times with Halle publicly. Is he puts you in situations where you have to defend yourself or you have to fight for yourself? Get rid of it. Is he negging you and not supporting you and talking about how he told you you wouldn't be on a cover of Vogue, but now here we are? Get rid of it. Remember, you are not a fixer. You are not Bob the Builder. You are not here to build this man up to be secure and confident. If he doesn't have that in him already, you're the one that's going to pay the price for that. May this type of love never find you. Say it with me. This type of love will never find me. All together now. This type of love will never find me. Because we deserve better than that. Now let's end with one dilemma, and I want you to answer this in the comments as well. What is one red flag that you ignored in the name of love? What is one red flag that you ignored in the name of love? Shall I go first? I'll go first because I've definitely ignored a lot of red flags in my day. I ignored a man with 2 kids with 2 different baby moms for the sake of love. That's a whole nother story for another time. We'll get round to that. But upon reflection, that was a terrible decision. Anyways, a red flag I overlooked for love was his insecurity and mood swings. Being with a moody man is too close to being with a sassy man. A man that one day is just like, hey, and next day he doesn't want to speak to no one. He's sitting in the corner. He's a grumpy pants. That's too close to being sassy for me. Because why are you not stable in yourself, sir? And I'm an empath, so I'm going to absorb your shit. That doesn't work. Insecurities. A man who blatantly told me, I'm so beautiful and I'm so powerful, and he just doesn't see that in himself. He doesn't know how he can compare. He told me that, and then he absolutely showed me that. And me and my people pleasing ass was like, oh, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm beautiful and I'm all these things, but you are, equally as, strong and all this, trying to speak life into this man to make him feel confident. But if he does not feel confident about himself, if he thinks lowly of himself, there's nothing that you can say to make that man believe in it. So yeah, we learned the hard way. This year and from till the end of time, I want us to only accept love that honors us and cherishes us and amplifies us and protects us. May the DVDs, may the Biebers, may the reformed pastors of the world never find us. We want love that is safe. We want love that is supportive. We want love that is expansive and expensive. You need to be prepared. Honestly, Judith, you need to be prepared to be single for the rest of your life, babe. Do not ever slip your crown. Do not ever drop your standard to be with a man who's gonna drag you down. Okay? Pay attention, because they'll get you. Okay, I will be back again very soon with another episode. Make sure you're following this. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Give us a like. Give us a comment. This was your dose of doing the most with your host. I don't have another rhyming word. I'll see you again soon.